Can a demon take over someone? Like, live within them?
Damn, that's some scary shit.
Scary Movie 5. Begrudgingly, we are at the end of this long journey, and what a ride it's been, Tommy.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't end well. It ends in a crash, a horrible crash where everyone dies. And it didn't have to be this way. You know that this movie, I looked it up, it came out in 2013. I don't think I've ever even seen this one because, the time for Scary Movie was done. It was over. You end on a high note in 2006, and everyone loves, well, not everyone, but like the right people remember fondly this quadrilogy of stupid movies. And then no, you have to go and ruin it with a fifth one years later. Who knew that Craig Mazin, of all people, was the secret sauce? He was the secret ingredient for like a good scary movie script, because he's missing in this one. He's not in it.
What's interesting about this one, it feels so disconnected to all the others. Even
Yeah.
we spoke about how there's the creative team changes from 1 and 2 to the rest of them, and it's still
Visually as well, it's just completely different. It's
and I mean
digital and
it's a massive
yeah.
drop off in budget that this one had, but which is kind of surprising because like every Scary Movie film has been a commercial success. Not massively. The first one was a real success because it had like a 19 million budget and made 278 million.
Oh my
Whereas
God.
just 10 years earlier, Scary Movie 3 had a budget of 48 million and grossed 220. So like it still proved back then that there was a lot of life in the franchise. So it did seem weird that they spent so long trying to get the fifth one done. There was a drop off in terms of budget and box office gross as the films went on, and this one feels so low budget. And I
Oh my
suppose
God.
the fact that they are spoofing Paranormal Activity helps them a lot, because you can kind of be like, oh hey, everything's supposed to look cheap and CCTV footage looking, but wow, this feels
The choice of which movie to parody was done after they received the budget for the movie.
I reckon so. And I suppose we should start like how we start all of these. We'll start with the cold open. And my God,
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
like I didn't like Scary Movie 4's cold open, but this one is easily the worst. And it's funny because for me anyway, the cold open's quality is completely indicative of the quality of the whole film, pretty much.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It looks
yeah,
horrible.
and
It
we get
looks
oh God, it looks so ugly, and we get such a bizarre choice. They bring Charlie Sheen back, but not to play his character as Tom. He's playing
No.
himself. And they bring and Lindsay Lohan's here, and
She plays herself.
she
as
plays
well.
herself, and they're making a sex tape, or they're just having sex, but Charlie Sheen's like secretly filming them. And
well, not so secretly though.
yeah, and I was like, oh, there you go, prop joke. So I was like, it's hitting the markers, but is it gonna do anything with it? And they spend like 3-4 minutes of this pretty short cold open doing like this stupid acrobatic sequence. Like, how
Yeah.
terrible was that?
With different things and like different people going in and out of the bed and disappearing into the blanket, and it's just Charlie Sheen is barely trying. It's not even in half of this because of course it was a stunt double doing all the jumping and
Yeah.
just twisting around, and it's the quickest one, but it feels so long. There's no escalation, nothing. It was very indicative of the quality and of the movie moving forward,
Yeah.
unfortunately, which
One semi-decent joke in it is that it's like, oh, he's Lindsay Lohan is worried about her being secretly filmed for a sex tape, and turns around and there's like a whole production of cameras there all focused
Yeah.
in, and like a whole wall of sex tapes on the wall. Like I was like, yeah, okay, that's very Scary Movie-esque, but that was as close as they got to a wry smile out of me.
I don't think I've smiled once throughout this entire movie. Not
Okay,
even like not laugh, but like smile. I didn't smile once.
I was very aware, and I was like, okay, when is this film going to give me my first, somewhat of a chuckle or a smile or elicit any kind of emotion other than boredom and annoyance? And it did do it a couple of times, which I was quite shocked by. Like I did,
All right.
there was one bit that actually did make me chuckle, and they kind of have made this joke before, but it worked really well here, and it's probably down to the cameo they brought in for it. Yes, we get the cold open, terrible,
And then we get
has
another cold open
another
again.
cold open, which was even worse than the one before.
And such a bummer as well, because it's Mac Miller who, passed away. So you're like, oh my God, it was so young when he died.
I know.
And he's in this bad movie as well.
But my God, like,
with Snoop
what
Dogg.
is the point? Like, and I can't imagine either of them were insanely cheap to get for the day shoot or whatever. Like that
Of course
money
not.
was so wasted, and it kind
They're
of
not good
like,
actors, and they're not
Yeah.
doing anything funny. And just the fact that Snoop Dogg is there is supposed to be funny, I guess. but-
Exactly, and that's kind of
Yeah.
what I felt about they did in the cold open of 4. It's just just the fact that there's a celebrity cameo in itself is
At least they
humorous.
incorporate the
Yeah,
fact
yeah,
that he's a
100%.
basketball player into the fucking gag that they're doing.
100%.
Snoop
Well, I
Dogg
mean, they
could be
have
played
they have
by
Snoop-
my
They
grandpa.
have Snoop Dogg smoking weed. That's what he does.
Oh my God! Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a unique trait that only Snoop Dogg can portray. Yeah.
But yeah,
Um,
it's so bad, and this one, they has no connective tissue really. They like fall into their jet like boat at the end of the film, and also
yeah,
like
the
they
shark bit. Yeah.
yeah, and they sort of uncover the kids who are like possessed creature, like feral kids who then
Charlie
adopt-
Sheen's like children. Is that
What? I think that I guess. I don't know. That's what they say.
because he died, and so they need to find his children, and that's why Max, is that his name? Fucking his brother from 3, he comes back and takes his children because they are supposed to be Charlie Sheen's lost children. Is that what the story is?
Is that Simon Rex played George in 3, right? He is Tom's
Yeah, I was
brother
saying,
who's
George, there you go.
he's played Tom's brother who's played by Charlie Sheen. Now we have George back as not George, but he's still brothers with Charlie Sheen, who's now not Tom, he's just Charlie Sheen. And I'm like, wow, I need like a law book or some sort
This
of
is
I
like
need a historian.
X-Men level of just not adhering to the timeline. Yeah, no, it's a strange fucking movie. And we have Anna Faris' replacement, and she's not up to the task at all, in my opinion. Not George, whatever
God
the character,
knows.
the actor's name, I don't remember. Like that guy's wife. And she does like a fucking Black Swan kind of the films that decide to parody in this are so weird, man. We have like Paranormal Activity, we mentioned, and okay, that's fine, it was a huge franchise at the time. It's a cheap one to do.
Yeah.
All right. I guess there could be some fun stuff to do with the found footage stuff. They don't do it, but there is some potential
there
there.
is, there is Paranormal Activity is rife for comedy. Like that's as you choosing that as your basis is perfect. Like I'm not
Yeah.
to say this film definitely doesn't do that, but there is a wealth of things to parody in those films.
Yeah, then they do Black Swan, and it felt just so tacked on and meaningless, and like this rivalry that she has with this other lady. It's just oh man, like, and then they do
Rise of the-
Inception.
They do Rise of the Planet of the Apes as well.
Which those are movies that I love, so I immediately recognize, and I don't remember. I think I've never seen this before. So I was like, as soon as they were in the lab and he was like doing the James Franco character from that movie, I was like, oh my God! And how are they gonna do the apes? And of course, they are people in costumes, which it's inherently kind of funny. The fact that it's just people in costumes while these
Honestly,
other
there are some bright spots in this through line, I'd say.
the through line with the apes has some funny things, and I also wrote down something that I found quite surprising. It comes later in the movie, but we're not kind of like following the plot right now. And basically, when they do the parody of, that there's this news segment at one point when the apes break loose and they do the bridge scene from Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, yeah.
And the smart apes have escaped containment and they're on the loose on the bridge where they fight against the police. And of course, it's a very quick scene because they don't have the money to do it. But some of these apes in the scene, they're holding rifles, and this doesn't happen in Rise. I'm a huge nerd for the trilogy of the most recent trilogy of Planet of the Apes movies. They start using human weapons in the second one in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
That's because
And that movie,
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is parodying Scary Movie 5. That's why.
that movie came out 1 year later because it's 2014, and this movie came out in 2013. So the parody predates the original. They had the idea of the guns first, which like maybe it's a reference to other like older Planet of the Apes movies.
Oh
but
my
I don't.
God, you've just broke my brain, brother.
I was like so surprised, and it's kind of like the Planet of the Apes franchise itself, because it's like they go into the future and they change the past, and it's insane. So like, maybe there's something going on there. Anyway, just
This was this was like I suppose a nice surprise, I could say. I was like, oh, they're ripping on specifically the first remake of Planet of the Apes, and I was like, okay, because I totally forgot that being an element of this movie.
yeah,
And yeah, like we said, that's probably where the brighter spots of the film are.
they do Inception for some reason.
They do Inception, and I tell you what, Fake Leo was actually very amusing to me.
Okay, that's fair.
because he looks the part. Just the performance is terrible, but it works. Like
Yeah, as soon as you see him, like when she opens the door and he's there, you're like, oh, he's supposed to be DiCaprio in Inception, and of course he is. So yeah, no, I think that works, but also again, it's just not funny, man. Like that's the main thing, right?
Yeah,
Like we
yeah,
are
yeah.
here trying to debate about this movie and trying to find stuff to talk about, but at the end of the day, if the movie is not fun, it's not working.
Yeah, and there's
And
ways you can sort of critically look at that, I guess, like with looking at, setup and payoff and plot structure and production value of the parodies. So it's not funny, it doesn't do the work either around the jokes to help it be
yeah.
funny.
When it's referencing Evil Dead, it's just doing the crazy camera through the woods and
What a
nothing
shock
else.
to see the remake, specifically again the remake of Evil Dead. Like I was like, oh my God, that was because it wasn't even like a massive movie of the time either, really.
No.
So
But
that
because
was
they needed the horror quota to be filled
Yeah,
because they were
yeah.
not doing any horror basically.
And I tell you what, again, you might have just referenced one of my probably more favorite scenes in the film. Like I do
yeah.
actually quite like when she is reading the curse and we cut back up to the Mormons upstairs and they're like bleeding
Yeah.
everywhere, and then she releases the curse and they're all confused and she keeps doing it back and forth. And that bit actually was I found quite enjoyable, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it's one of the rare scenes where they do go all in. They go all in on the gore. Like the demons look demonic. They're not as good as they look in the Evil Dead film, but like close enough to the point where it sells you on it. So they did some work in that scene. And I mean, I think I just looked it up. This is still written by David Zucker, the fifth film?
It's okay. I know that Craig Mazin is not part of this. It's David Zucker and Pat Proft, who were two of the three writers for the previous two. And again, missing the sauce. Craig Mazin was the sauce.
Yeah, damn. I mean, and I suppose maybe this is the elements where you still see Zucker doing bits that that we know him for being great at, but yeah, it's severely off the mark. We get quite early on in the film, we do get introduced. I feel like I'm speaking really glowingly about this now, but I'm about to praise it again, which I don't know why
Oh
I'm doing this.
no.
And again, a lot of misses with this character, but the funniest character in the film for me is housemaid Maria.
There's our furry family member.
Yes, Maria.
Oh, Dan, Artie.
Oh, yes, of course. Our dog.
Okay. I'll let you make your case because I have a lot to say about
Am I
this
cooking,
character.
Tommy? Am I cooking?
I don't know, man.
Let me cook.
I feel like you're walking on shattered glass right now, but just try and sell it to me.
Okay. Well,
Why is she funny?
Why is she funny? Okay. Well, there's some decent jokes they will have within her character. I like.
Yeah.
I like that she is stereotypically like. So, we must bless this house. We must bless this house. Always like wanting to bless the house.
With bigger and bigger crosses.
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
where is she getting those?
And immediately they're like, like I think George or Simon Rex's character walks in and he's like, how's our furry friend doing? And she turns around to the camera and she's like, oh, I'm okay. And you see her arms are like insanely hairy. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a good joke. That's a good joke. And then there's like, the bits where, and this is what I feel like when I was mentioning there's a wealth of things to parody in Scary Movie, or no, in Paranormal Activity, sorry, that you have CCTV now set up all around your house. You can capture people doing awkward, funny moments without them realizing, and stuff you would just do around the house, but it'd be funny because you've captured it on CCTV. And there's like her, for some reason, she's like so thirsty all the time, and she's just going around and just chugging everything she sees, chugging the mouthwash at the sink, like just drinking all this mouthwash, and she's always just like finding things to just chug down. And it's using the framework of the parody to make jokes, but don't get me wrong, it's there's also some terrible stuff, like they have like this crazy scene, and it might be the most surreal any Scary Movie film ever gets. All these Hoovers in the house.
That is so weird, man.
It's so weird. They all become they all become like possessed, and they start like partying around the house, and they're doing coke and they're drinking. It seems like, and whilst this is all going on, Maria is like smashing a piñata in her room, and it's like, wow, this is playing up the racial stereotypes. I think a bit
little
too
bit
much.
too much.
But yeah, there's a lot of misses with her character, but I thought there was some funny stuff that she did.
I mean, she's good. She's having fun with this insane character, which is wildly offensive and not in a funny way.
Oh, no.
I think, but like she's occasionally,
Except for when they do the silly stuff. Like the silly
when
stuff.
they do the silly
yeah.
stuff, and like again, the crosses was quite funny. She keeps coming back with bigger and bigger crosses. At some point, she's literally carrying a cross like Jesus.
Oh man, yeah, and she's like, we need to bless this house, and like in the background of the scene, she's like cutting off a chicken's head, and the blood is like spraying all over the walls, like that stuff. That stuff was.
And then they fire her, and there's this scene outside where they fight, like literally, just like he starts beating on her, and then we have like this. Like it goes on for a while, and then like a police car comes by, so they stand up and they start waving because of course they don't want to be stopped by the police. So like there is some stuff that is amusing, not enough to make me laugh, but thinking about it, I'll
tell you the one bit that did make me laugh, and and nothing else actually got a laugh out of me, but this is and I made a note of it because I was like, this is the first time I smiled in the movie, and first time it got a little chuckle out of me, and it's the classic setup where they're now accepting that the house is haunted, so they call the psychic, and it's Cat Williams' character. And
oh yeah,
obviously
that was funny.
he's just naturally a very funny person. But they have a good setup where it's like Ashley Tisdale says to him, she's he's coming over to exorcise the house basically, and she's like, have you ever heard of like ghosts or demons going into somebody and taking over their body? And it's like, that is the definition of possession. Like, he's a psychic, of course, it's so basic, and he goes, wow, that's some scary shit right there. And he looks genuinely terrified at the prospect of possession, even though he's there to perform an exorcism. And I was like, that's good. That's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it really good, but
it's the delivery.
It
It's all in the delivery. It worked.
It feels like they've only seen the trailers for the movies they're parodying. Like, there's no real idea, there's no heart, there's just nothing. You know, the funny stuff that they manage to do is either down to the actor that they choose, who, you know, tries to make the material work, or, you know, just, you know, by accident, you know, you throw 100 gags at a wall, you know, one of them is going to stick. But yeah, I don't know, man. This one is by a mile, without a doubt, and with a huge margin, the worst scary movie. It's
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can't.
but I tell you what, it's funny. I just was laughing to myself there because I'm scrolling down my notes and I have these two notes right near the very end. And
All
it
right.
says Maria offering her shit desserts for Dan. She is underlined, she is definitely the best character. And because
Yeah,
she
she
keeps
is.
offering like shit pies. And then straight after, and I don't even know what I'm referencing here, but it says narration for car dash, this film is starting to win me over.
Just at the end, like right on time. Uh, even though this movie doesn't have the decency to end with the credits,
Oh my god, I think I like this though. I don't
they do the
know, because
bloopers.
it's so old school. It's like when you chuck a DVD on, they would finish with the blooper reel, and bloopers for me are naturally just really endearing, like seeing the behind the scenes, and it made me like Ashley Tisdale's character more, and watching the bloopers, and it's all the facade. I know, I'm compromised, Tommy. I'm compromised.
I mean, you are compromised, and there's nothing you can do about it. But I don't get me wrong, I do love bloopers usually. It's just that maybe I was just so done with this film, and when I
Fair.
had to keep watching because maybe there's something funny that I can talk about in this fucking review, and like the movie would not let me go. It would just keep going with these fucking bloopers, and maybe two of them were funny, and the others were just, you know, Charlie Sheen just being, I don't know, cocked out of his mind on this set. It was just a way to, like, as you mentioned, like it is a way to kind of like make you look at the movie in a different light. Oh, you know,
Yeah,
it's
it
just
totally
friends
does.
having fun. But then, you know, some of the fucking jokes that they do as well, they're a little bit like iffy. Like when the girl is like at some point is she has to do, like, she has to say something with like a lot of penises, like they have to, I don't remember exactly, but like there's a line that she keeps butchering because there's, and I can't keep track of all these penises, and like a voice
Yeah, welcome to
it's like, oh,
Hollywood,
welcome to
baby.
Hollywood.
That was
And it's
Harvey
like, oh,
Weinstein.
again, because these movies are produced.
He's still involved in this film. The
Yeah.
Weinsteins don't get their dirty fingers off these franchises, that's for sure.
Yeah, I hope they don't on the new one. That would be weird. But yeah, like it's, you know, with the context of,
Yeah, 100%. Like, it feels a bit exploitative in that scene. And also, there's like another blooper reel where, like, the Black Swan other character is like shoving her fingers in Ashley Tisdale's mouth.
yeah,
And like they show that in the blooper, and it's like that's not a nice thing for an actor to have to deal with, having someone's hand like shoved in your mouth like that over and over again. And like you can clearly tell, like in the last take, she's like, "We're good," and like they keep it in the blooper reel, and it's like, I don't know whether you like gauged how your actor was feeling about this scene. Like, I think this was quite an uncomfortable experience for her in this
yeah,
moment. And just like whilst we're on the topic of like exploitative stuff. Like, you know, I'm all for dark humor, and you know, the child abuse stuff is funny in the other films, but like they get the kid actors to do some like really inappropriate stuff in this film.
yeah, yeah. It feels dirty a little bit, and yeah, especially when children are involved, is not the best. I mean, I don't think I have anything else to say about this movie. It fucking sucks. Before we end this, I wanted to do a little ranking. Like, what is your cold open ranking for the first 5 movies?
I suppose I somewhat spoiled it earlier because like I said, I do agree with this. I think the cold open is indicative of the quality of the rest of the film, because I do think Scary Movie 1's cold open is the best.
And I agree, of course.
And you agree. And whereas
So
I
we
think,
have the Scream parody, I guess.
yes, I think it's so filled with jokes, still gets me every time I watch it. And, you know, maybe a close second, I go for Scary Movie 3's Cold Open.
Oh, we're agreeing so far. Yeah, I put
Yeah.
3 as well. The Ring, it's very similar to the first, and as it is funny in a very similar way. So I guess that's why. But yeah, it puts its own spin on things. So
Yeah,
really
maybe
funny.
not as gag filled as the first Cold Open. Probably like I say, if you were literally to like joke count, I feel like the first one smashes all of them out of the water. And then Scary Movie 2's Cold Open, The Exorcism, goes next for me.
Yeah, I actually think that the Scary Movie 4 Saw parody is a little bit better than the Exorcist one.
Fair. I think for me, James Woods as the priest
Yeah,
does some
that's
great
true.
stuff, and it's there's enough of that, and the
It's a
very
better actor than Shaquille O'Neal for sure.
Oh wow, really? And I love them playing around the piano. Shake that ass, watch yourself. When
Yeah.
they do all that, they're just dropping hard N bombs everywhere. It's crazy, that opening scene. And then do you do 2 next? I assume. Can't
Yeah,
be
I do
5.
too. I do 2 next, and then 5 is way at the bottom. It's not even number 5. Maybe it's number 11, even though there's nothing in between. But just like I need to get some distance between that movie and the other ones.
There's not even a worthwhile joke in that 5th one, as cold opens go. But it's and yeah, do your rankings align? Could mine's slightly different, I guess.
It's only one different. Like I rate the third one as my favorite.
Yes, same.
And then number 1, as like Scary Movie 1 is second place. Scary Movie 4 is third place.
Yeah.
Scary Movie 2 is fourth place, and of course, Scary Movie 5 is fifth and final place for me.
Yeah. Third is my winner, closely followed by the first one, then number 2, and then 4, and then 5 for me. Pleasantly surprised how even the worst of the bunch were actually still quite entertaining.
So yeah, I'm really happy that I rewatched these, bar the fifth one. I had very just not very good memories of them, like you kind of and they have value. They represent like a shift in culture, and
Yeah.
you can see the culture change around this movie, when by the time the fifth one comes around, like there's that kind of movie is just not like even just like it can't work anymore. Like, so I'm so curious to see how the sixth one, now if we came back around to that kind of vibe, like if we can do like we're nostalgic for something that was already kind of like a parody and a reference of other stuff that was older. Like, it's a strange time to like watch movies in 2026. We've just seen Mortal Kombat, and that's also kind of like we compare it to the first movie from 1995, and you're like, oh my god, like what's I don't know, like
How can it not be so much better than this? What's going on?
Yeah,
I thought society was supposed to progress with time, not regress.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so what would you give this one? It's the only one we haven't given a score out of 10 yet, so...
I need to grade number 5. I need to give it a rating. Man, can I give it a negative rating? First
You can.
It's oh man, it's just a 1, I guess. It's like a 0. I don't know. There's no redeeming quality in this one. There's no like I mean, some of the bits that you mentioned, I guess, are quite funny, like in isolation, but like the process, like the experience of watching the movie is such a drag. And then it has the audacity to show you bloopers for 2 minutes that feel like 5 hours. So I hated this movie with a passion, and I give it a 1.
A 1, wow. Okay. I probably give this maybe a 3.5. But I'm more pleasantly surprised than anything, because I went into this thinking it was going to be a 0 or a 1, have no value whatsoever, and for the most part it doesn't. But I think if it gave me a couple unexpected laughs, which maybe get it the extra couple of points. Where do you think the new one will lie within this ranking that we have?
I mean, it cannot be worse than 5.
God, I'd hope so.
Like I
Please.
don't think it's humanly possible to make a worse movie than 5, especially because they had a few years to kind of like figure out that what they did with that one did not work, and they know which ones are the most beloved ones in the franchise, so they might lean into that kind of humor, and they're bringing those characters back. So even just because of those characters being in the new one, it's gonna be better than 5. And I don't know, like I was so surprised how much I liked 3 and 4. I don't know if the new one can beat them, just because that kind of movie I don't think can work as well as it used to.
I'm hopeful, but I think same as you, I can't seeing it being better than the good ones. And if it's worse than the number 5, then Christ, civilization is coming to an end.
For sure.
It's the end of culture as we know it. But yeah, so hopefully it gives me as much of a good time as like 4 and 2.
It's definitely gonna be better than 5. It's maybe gonna be better than 2 for me, because 2 is lower on my list. But it can't beat the original. I think that's gonna be a classic forever.